Hey everyone and welcome back to the channel. Sometimes a book just lands in your lap at the perfect moment. And for me, that book was Full Catastrophe Living by Jon Kabat-Zinn. This isn't just any self-help book, it's a foundational text that literally changed the way we think about stress, health, and our own capacity for healing. It's a classic for a reason, lauded by everyone from physicians to scientists to educators, who call it a singular beacon of clarity and a timeless classic. It even transformed the lives of millions worldwide, and honestly, reading it felt like having a really profound, wise, and incredibly kind friend guiding me through life's biggest challenges. So what's it all about? At its heart, Full Catastrophe Living introduces us to the concept of mindfulness-based stress reduction. Or this, Jon Kabat-Zinn, who founded the Stress Reduction Clinic at the University of Massachusetts Medical School, developed this 8-week program back in 1979. Now, when you hear mindfulness, you might think it's some mystical new age thing, but Kabat-Zinn demystifies it completely. He explains that mindfulness is simply moment-to-moment non-judgmental awareness. It's about paying attention, on purpose, in the present moment, to things we usually never give a second thought to. He points out that this isn't about thinking about your breathing, for example, but feeling the sensations of your breath. It's like waking up from our daily autopilot mode. You might be wondering, but how does just paying attention help with my problems, like chronic pain or overwhelming stress? That's a great question, and it gets to the core of the book's message. Kabat-Zinn emphasizes that this isn't a rescue service where you're a passive recipient, it's a vehicle for active learning, where you build on your existing strengths. He has this incredible philosophy he shares with his patients: as long as you're breathing, there is more right with you than wrong with you, no matter what is wrong. It's about pouring energy into what's right with you, rather than constantly focusing on what's wrong. The book lays out a clear path through best practices. It talks about 7 key attitudinal factors that are the pillars of mindfulness: non-judging, patience, a beginner's mind, trust, non-striving, acceptance, and letting go. These aren't just abstract ideas, they're woven into the fabric of the practice. The idea of non-striving is especially powerful for me. It means not trying to achieve a specific outcome, like I must relax or my pain must go away. Instead, you simply engage in the practice for its own sake, and paradoxically, not trying to get somewhere is the most effective way to get somewhere in terms of greater well-being. The book then dives into the formal meditation practices, which are essentially tools for this intentional awareness. There's the body scan, where you lie down and bring your attention breath by breath to different regions of your body. It's a powerful way to get in touch with your physical self, even with pain. I remember reading about Mary, a patient who had repressed trauma for decades, and how the body scan helped her connect with a deeply held net blockage, bringing repressed memories to the surface and beginning a healing process. Or Phil, a truck driver with chronic back pain, who found he could tap into feeling his breathing all over his body during the body scan, which significantly reduced his pain, even if temporarily. Then there's sitting meditation, where you focus on your breath and learn to observe your thoughts as just that thoughts, like clouds passing in the sky, without getting caught up in their content. It sounds simple, but as the book acknowledges, sitting still can be incredibly challenging, especially at first, bringing up restlessness or discomfort. And finally, mindful yoga, which is described as gentle stretching and strengthening done with moment-to-moment awareness of breathing and sensations. Kabat-Zinn reminds us that any movement you do is yoga, and any postures you adopt are as well, if you engage in them mindfully and lovingly. These formal practices are often done with guided CDs, which he highly recommends to keep you on track. Beyond the formal stuff, the book emphasizes informal practice, bringing mindfulness into your daily life: walking, eating, even doing chores. It asks, is there any waking moment of your life that would not be richer and more alive for you if you were more fully awake for it? It makes you think. Now, the title Full Catastrophe Living might sound a bit intense, right? Kabat-Zinn explains it comes from a Zorba, the Greek quote, and means finding and coming to terms with what is deepest and best, and ultimately, what is most human within ourselves. It's about embracing the entirety of your human experience, the good, the bad, and the ugly, so that life's storms can strengthen you rather than destroy you. And this leads to a crucial distinction: healing versus curing. The book makes it clear that while we might wish for a cure for chronic illnesses or pain, healing is about a profound transformation of view, a shift in how we relate to our illness, disability, or even impending death. It's recognizing your intrinsic wholeness, even when a part of you is diseased or missing. Joyce, a cancer patient, had a powerful otherness experience during the body scan. Realizing she was larger than her illness, this means that if you're meditating to make your cancer or pain go away, you might actually be creating impediments to your own healing by undermining the spirit of non-doing and acceptance. Healing is about accepting things as they are, which paradoxically has the power to transform everything. The book also delves into the science of the mind-body connection, citing research in psychoneurology and epigenetics. It explains how our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors can influence our physical health, impacting our immune system and even gene expression. For instance, a study on psoriasis patients showed that those who meditated during light therapy cleared their skin 4 times faster than the control group. It's a strong case for participatory medicine, where patients actively engage in their own well-being. And what about stress? Kabat-Zinn clarifies that it's not the stressor itself, but how you perceive it and how you handle it that determines its impact. The goal is to move from stress reactivity, automatic, unconscious responses to mindful responding, conscious, chosen actions. Think of the story of the plant manager who was constantly dizzy from work stress, unable to admit he was stressed. Through BS, he realized his symptoms were linked to work, began to use his breath to relax, and learned to trust his employees more, ultimately reducing his stress and improving productivity. Another powerful insight is that our language often betrays our automatic identification with symptoms. Kabat-Zinn suggests saying the body is head-aching instead of "I have a headache," to remind ourselves that we are not the pain itself. It's about uncoupling the sensory experience of pain from the emotional and cognitive layers that amplify suffering. The book also touches on everyday challenges like time stress in our 24/7 digital world, advocating for simplifying life and understanding that time is a product of thought. And then there's food stress, highlighting the need for mindful eating in a world saturated with unhealthy options and how it connects to overall health, not just weight. Phil, our truck driver, even lost weight simply by paying attention when I eat, slowing down and tasting his food. So, what's my biggest takeaway and recommendation from full catastrophe living? It's this: the most important thing is to practice every day, even if it's just for 5 minutes. Kabat-Zinn is firm: make time for formal practice every day as if your life depended on it. Because, as we have said, it does. It's a lifelong journey, a way of awareness or way of being that nourishes your deepest resources. There's no way to fail in this work if you approach it with sincerity and consistency, because it's not about achieving a perfect state, but about being willing to look and be with things as they are. Even confusion and despair can be creative moments if met with awareness. This book isn't just about managing stress, it's about reclaiming your life, your agency, and your innate capacity for healing and wholeness in the midst of whatever life throws your way. It's an invitation to a deeper, richer, and more authentic way of living. If you're looking for a profound shift in how you relate to yourself and the world, this is absolutely the book to pick up. Go on, give yourself that gift. You might just surprise yourself with what's possible.